primary audience for me is gentlemen who are genuinely interested in improving their relationships and make them better. So we'll continue with that, but I think that now there's an even greater need for not only understanding of how relationships work, but real practical solutions to deal with this kind of relationship problems and dynamic. I think my observations, a lot of people talk about it from a metaphorical standpoint in terms of, this is what I think, this is what I see, this is what I observe. But for me, like, I was for years hands on with couples, like hand to hand, touch to touch. You were right there in the trenches with them, and you can see, gentlemen and ladies can see trust is a physical thing. Commitment and connection is a physical thing. And once you start to realize, it's like, oh, it's not, no, the fact that she doesn't trust me is not just a woo woo. Like, it's because she's walking backwards in heels, and that's unsafe. Like, so, once you start to bring those real life, tangible realizations, I think it can help people to really get a real understanding of the dynamic and why it takes two to tango.
Yeah. All of that makes sense, because, once you have anything of success, there's usually something that follows. So that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
So what made you want to write a book? Because it's a lot of work. And I've done it 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I after every time I say I'm never gonna do this again. and somebody usually, a couple people usually tell me, or a handful of people usually say, hey, come on, rather do it again. So what made you want to do that?
I mean, aside from the fact that I can be long-winded in class, but no, I think what my students and my audience wanted, they wanted something tangible. They wanted something that they could refer to over and over again and meditate. Because sometimes in a class setting, you can have an aha moment that is in that moment, but then you get some time away, you get to explore some, time and some things with your partner, and then you come into a new realization, but you may not have your notes, or you may not have the reference materials that you had before. And so my students, especially my viewers, they really wanted something tangible, a primer, if you would, that they could use to refer back to take notes in, especially with It Takes Two to Tango, and use it to build onto their practices at home.
Yeah.
So I did it for the peoples. I love to write. When I was in school, I loved to write. So it wasn't an unnatural thing for me.
Yeah. Well, that's good, but mostly I'm the type of writer, when I write, I have to be in like a zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if I'm not in that zone, I might go weeks, months, until I write something else again. So when you were helping, I guess, couples one-on-one, how does Tango help couples, help relationships get better? And you don't have to name everything, but in some ways.
Absolutely. Well, kind of the way I like to say it in a nutshell is that when you see a beautiful couple dancing, like you said, you used to see the couples and you thought you could tell who was into each other and who was not. It was because that couple had an energy, they had a passion, they had a connection that was not just between them, but that everyone around them could see.
Yeah.
Like you might not have known the secret of what it was, but it was apparent not only inside the couple, but to the entire people around the dance floor that couple has something special going on.
Yeah.
There's a way that you build your dance that creates that if you understand what it takes to build a beautiful dance and create that energy on the dance floor, you can apply it off the dance floor. And so it was about helping people to understand there's actually a formula to this. Like when you start dancing with someone, if you're not in